In the heart of Lahore, hidden behind ivy-covered walls and a rusting iron gate, stood the Zara Women's Hostel, a place of shelter, study, and secrets. Behind it stretched a garden, not grand, but lovingly tended. Among the roses and jasmine shrubs worked a man few noticed, but whose hands knew every stem by heart. His name was Saad. 32, quiet and lean, Saad had worked as the gardener for 6 years. Every morning at sunrise, he arrived on his old bicycle, carrying a small satchel of tools and a flask of tea. He didn't speak much, only nodded to the hostel warden or the cook. He didn't intrude or linger. The girls often passed by him on the way to college, their laughter like music, but Saad kept his eyes on the soil, until her. Mina was different. She arrived in March just as the bougainvillea began to bloom. She wasn't the most beautiful girl in the hostel, but there was something about her that made her unforgettable. Maybe it was the way she carried herself, like she was both fearless and fragile, or the way she always stopped at the garden, taking deep breaths as if drawing courage from the flowers. Saad noticed her before she noticed him. Every morning she came down with a cup of coffee, sat on the stone bench near the marigolds, and read. Her eyes moved quickly across the pages, her brows sometimes furrowing. Once, her hand brushed the petals of a sunflower, and Saad, hiding behind the hedges, felt his chest tighten for reasons he couldn't explain. Days passed. Then, one morning, she looked up and saw him. "Good morning," she said. Saad stood frozen, rake in hand. "Morning," he mumbled. "You take care of all this?" He nodded. "Yes. It's beautiful." That was all. She returned to her book, but the next day she greeted him again, and the next. Slowly, like the unfurling of a rosebud, a strange rhythm began between them. A greeting, a smile, a comment about the weather. Then one day she brought him a cup of tea. "For you," she said. "You're always working so hard." Saad hesitated. No girl had ever done such a thing, but he accepted it with trembling hands. "Thank you. I'm Mina," she said. "Bachelor's in psychology, 2nd year." "Saad," he replied. "Gardener." She smiled. "Nice to meet you, Gardener Saad." From that moment, their conversations deepened. She asked about the plants, about his life, his village near Bahawalpur. He told her of dry summers and monsoon dreams. She spoke of hostile politics, exam pressure, and missing her mother. He listened. Then came the stormy night. A sudden power outage sent the hostel into chaos. Screams, candlelight, and shouts from the warden. Mina stood by her window, watching the rain. In the garden below, Saad rushed to cover the fragile plants. She ran down. "You'll get sick!" she shouted through the rain. "I have to protect the seedlings," he replied, laughing as thunder rolled above. "Let me help." They worked together, soaked to the bone, laughing and slipping in the mud. When it was done, they stood under the veranda, dripping and breathless. "You're crazy," she said, shivering. "You too," he replied, offering his scarf. Their eyes met and held. That night, something changed. Over the weeks that followed, they found excuses to meet. She would come down earlier, he'd linger longer. They shared stories, poems, favorite songs. One evening, she gave him a book of Urdu poetry. "Read this," she said. "It reminds me of you." Saad's fingers brushed hers as he took it. "I think of you when I'm not here," she confessed, eyes shining. Saad looked away. "This can't happen, Mina." "Why not?" "I'm just a gardener." "You're more than that, to me." But love doesn't always follow rules. It seeps into quiet corners, blossoms in forbidden places. And so, they fell. They met secretly, beneath the banyan tree, behind the tool shed. Small touches, whispered words, and glances that lingered. Mina brought him sweets from the city. He gifted her flowers arranged with trembling hands. But secrets are like seeds. They grow. One evening, a girl from the hostel saw them laughing together. Whispers spread like wildfire. The warden called Mina in. "A gardener, Mina? Do you know what people are saying?" "I don't care," she said. "You should. You'll ruin your reputation." Mina was suspended for a week. Saad was dismissed without pay. They didn't say goodbye. Weeks passed. Saad returned to his village. The garden wilted without him. Mina stayed in her room, silent and pale. Letters were forbidden, calls were impossible. But love, real love, doesn't vanish. One morning, the hostel gate opened. A man entered, suitcase in hand. He asked to see Mina. It was Saad. He had returned, not as a gardener, but as a man determined. I spoke to my sister, he said. She's a teacher in Multan. I can work there. We can have a small home. Mina's eyes filled with tears. But I don't care what the world thinks. I care what you think. She